I did actually change my name back to Duke of Cumbernauld, Dan McCulloch, and stuff like that, so that I could do a little bit of larping around the coronation because people were getting upset and angry about it, and it was a good laugh. But there was one thing that did actually annoy me a little bit. Dozens of protesters arrested during the coronation. Now, some people might go, "Oh, what were they doing? Were they throwing bricks and stuff like that?" And there was people yelling, there was people shouting, there was people causing a fuss. But a lot of these arrests were preemptive, as in the cops knew who these people were and went in quick before they could even get the chance to protest. And that is, even though I was online there saying to all the leftists, "What do you mean you want to? You can't hate the royal family. That's hate speech. There's no consequence. Free speech doesn't mean freedom from consequences," and was parroting all their own arguments back to them. But I will say it was a little bit funny watching the people that have championed speech laws for the last 10 years getting arrested under speech laws. It's funny that, isn't it? Dozens of people have been arrested during the King's coronation, including the leader of a prominent anti-monarchy group. London's Metropolitan Police said 52 arrests were made for a range of reasons and all remain in custody. The arrest of anti-monarchy protesters earlier in the day has been labelled alarming by human rights groups. It's quite concerning, isn't it? If only someone was warning you. The Met said it understands public concern, but that officers had acted proportionally under the law. Yes, we understand why you're worried about this, but it was legal for us to do this, so that's fine. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah. Well, actually, actually, it's legal for us to violate human rights. You violated our human rights, yeah, but we're allowed. Uh, Protest is lawful and it can be disruptive, Commander Karen Finlay, leading the day's operation, said, pointing to numerous protests that had been policed without any arrests. Officers, she said, have a duty to intervene when protests become criminal and may cause serious disruption. This depends on the context. Actually, no, it doesn't. Did you just forget about my trial? Context doesn't matter anymore. The coronation is a once in a generation event, and that is a key consideration in our assessment. So basically, because this only happens, once in a lifetime, fuck your rights. Accusations of heavy-handed enforcement began early on Saturday before the coronation began, when the chief executive of anti-monarchist campaign group Republic, Graham Smith, was arrested at a protest in Trafalgar Square. Footage showed protesters in Not My King t-shirts being detained, including Smith. Republic says they were stopped by police while unloading signs near the procession. So basically, they had a big truck, they were unloading all the signs from it, they were getting ready to protest. So at this point in time, nothing criminal had happened. There was no criminal damage. There was no assaults. They were just getting ready to protest, and the cops swooped in and grabbed them all. The Met said lock-on devices, which protesters can use to secure themselves to things like railings, had been seized. Recent changes to the law passed this week make it illegal to prepare to lock on. That'll be the protest laws that have came out. It's essentially illegal to protest in Britain now. It's all right. We don't need guns. Yeah, America. How's your school shootings? I don't know, Britain. How's your protests? But Republic said officers had misconstrued straps meant to secure their signs in place. Police said the 52 arrests were made for offences including affray, public order offences, breach of the peace, and conspiracy to cause a public nuisance. A breakdown provided later revealed that 32, or about 60%, were arrested on suspicion of conspiracy to cause a public nuisance. So they hadn't actually committed a crime, the police just thought they would, which obviously, that can be a good thing. If you think someone is planning a murder or a shooting or something like that, then yeah, you would support the police being able to go in and grab that person before they can commit the act. And when it comes to crime, prevention is key and all that crap, right? But it also means that the police can just walk up to you and make up something on the spot. I think you're about to break into that building there. What are you talking about? I'm just walking past. Doesn't matter. Get in the back of the fucking van. The Met did not specify how many arrests were of anti-monarchy protesters, but climate group Just Stop Oil said about 13 protesters were arrested on the Mall in London and 5 others in Downing Street. A Just Stop Oil spokeswoman says that their plan was only to display t-shirts and flags, adding, "This is a dystopian nightmare." Yes, you are correct, and we were warning you. We were warning you for many, many years that this is See what you're. See how it says we're only going to use the laws for racism. If you don't like these laws, then obviously you're just a racist. No, it's because we know the ultimate end station of this train. We know where this train is going. We warned you where this train was going. You didn't want to listen. Right. See the whole racism crap that they do for the hate speech laws? That's how they get their foot in the door. They try and pass a law over something that no average reasonable person would want to disagree with. Then once they have their foot in the door, they expand on that law. Because basically getting a law itself passed is pretty difficult. So they use it. They establish a reason for establishing that law as something that's very widely palatable to most people. Then once they've established that law starts to grow little veins and little arms and legs like a cancer until they bolster it and make it even stronger. Like I said before, China's original hate speech laws, like China's original speech laws, were based on hate speech in regards to ethnicities that were living in China. That's how that started, right? And that's pretty much been the case in literally every other country, right? They start with the whole racism stuff because they know that nobody's going to disagree with that. And then from there, it ends up becoming to dissent, which was the original goal and purpose of these laws. And I feel like I'm repeating myself with this shit in every video. I feel like I've been repeating myself for like the last, 6 years now, probably longer. It's just, honestly, it's just an absolute nightmare. You were warned, but you didn't want to listen. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter about questioning the government. I want people to stop calling me gay on Twitter. Me. I want people to stop saying that I'm a man. Me. Well, there you are, you're in handcuffs now. And what are you going to do about it? Not protest, anyway. Fellow environmental protesters, Animal Rising, said a number of their supporters were arrested at a training session miles away from the coronation. The reports of people being arrested for peacefully protesting the coronation are incredibly alarming, said Human Rights Watch UK Director Yasmin Ahmed. This is something you would expect to see in Moscow, not London. Yeah, because our government has realised that there is a massive benefit to being able to control, but for their self-benefit, a benefit to themselves only, of being able to control the entire population through authoritarian means. Like, it works. It really does work, right? That's the problem. When it comes to the elites, that type of stuff really does work. Right. However, I'm kind of hoping it's going to get to the point where they kick the dog too many times and the dog bites back. Maybe one day. Hundreds of protesters gathered in the rain in central London on Saturday, with chants including "Down with the Crown," "Don't talk to the police," and "Get a real job." Other protests were organised in Cardiff, Glasgow and Edinburgh. No arrests were reported outside of London. Republic posted photos on Twitter of police officers taking details from those who were arrested. So much for the right to peaceful protest, the group said, adding that the force would not give the reasons for the arrest, because they don't really have to be honest. Well done. I mean, this is what you wanted. And there's the truck that they see. So they hadn't even started protesting yet. Nothing had been done, but they saw the truck and saw the signs. So, they grabbed the truck and arrested all of them. During the coronation ceremony, which was broadcast in Trafalgar Square over loudspeakers, hundreds of protesters booed the declarations of "God Save the King." Around 300 people gathered for a protest organised by Republic Cymru in Cardiff city centre. In Scotland, supporters of Scottish independence chanted anti-monarchy slogans on a march in Glasgow city centre, while a separate rally was held by the group Our Republic, which campaigns for an elected head of state. Elected head of state, we have that right now. It's democracy. Democracy works great. But yeah, basically, see, in regards to all the speech laws and the offence laws and stuff like that, these exact same people have been supporting for a great many years now. This is the inevitable end result. As in, whenever those laws are applied, this is the inevitable end result in 100% of cases. And the reason for that is it's not even just because it's the natural process that everyone goes down. It's just this. It's the end goal that they're trying to achieve. The state does not want you to be able to dissent. That's the point of it. And that's why whenever people say, yeah, they deserve it, these jobless leftists and stuff like that, no, do not cheer on that fucking shit, because then that's you normalising this type of stuff. And like we said before, what if it happens to you one day? I mean, it has been happening to us for a good number of years now, which is why a lot of us are, better off and wiser for the experience, and we know the exact type of stuff that these things can lead to. But no, this shouldn't be celebrated, this shouldn't be supported. These people should be immediately released and all charges dropped, and on the day, provided that they did not cause any physical damage to a person or property, they should have been allowed to protest. right? They should have been allowed to. However, we are currently in a country where protest is being made illegal. And yeah, what can I say at this point? Welcome to Britain.